Thursday, June 5, 2014. This is Mercedes Diesel Guy, and this is my 1995 Subaru Outback. Or at least it is for now. Sad to report that I'm declaring it end of the road for this car. A little background. I didn't do any video on it, but last week while I was driving, actually more when I was parking the car at low speed, I noticed a rubbing noise that I really just couldn't place. So fast forward from middle of last week to last Saturday, I was out at Home Depot and loading some stuff into the car in the parking lot, and I was getting ready to leave and I heard the noise again. So I stopped the car, I looked around and looked in the wheel wells, and I found that the driver's side rear strut had basically collapsed, and it had collapsed in a way that the body of the strut and the lower spring seat were actually deformed. I'm not sure exactly what caused the damage, but needless to say, the bottom spring seat was actually sitting on the tire, and I was definitely getting some burning rubber while I was driving. So drove it home, parked the car, and you know, at first I wasn't sure it was actually the strut. I figured maybe I had some sort of other bent or broken suspension component, so I got the car up on jacks, or jack stands that is. Looked underneath it. The rest of the rear suspension looked basically okay, so I took a chance and actually removed the rear strut from the car, and the damage was pretty obvious at that point. So didn't want to spend a lot of money, so I tried to source a pair of used rear struts in, you know, fairly decent condition. That didn't work, so I went ahead and bought brand new parts. Well, took a couple of days, but the struts came in yesterday. Last night I repaired the driver's side, which is on the other side, and I was quite happy, you know, when I finally got the car, you know, sitting on the ground again, that ride height was correct again, strut was sitting correctly in relation to the tire, so I knew that the problem was in fact the strut. Tonight, after dinner, I came out here to change the passenger side rear strut. Well, I got the strut out and made kind of a shocking discovery. The passenger side rear strut tower is rotted pretty bad, and for a lot of reasons I'm not going to even attempt to fix that. I mean, it's holding fine for now, but there's a rust hole, a rather big one, in the side facing this way, you know, towards where the camera is. But the other three sides looked perfectly intact, and obviously, you know, nothing was broken yet. It looks like it'll last me just fine the end of spring through the summer and fall, most likely, but if I expose that strut tower to one more winter of road salt, I mean, it's gone. Absolutely gone. Because of where the damage is, I can't really get in there to even attempt to fix it. And even then, I mean, welding on a strut tower there, that's sketchy. I mean, I don't mind, you know, patching up large sections of a unibody, as I'm doing on my Mercedes. But even in that car, you know, all four shock towers are intact, but and strong. But the strut tower here, this is a what I consider a structural component and a safety issue. So that being the case, I figured that since, you know, the strut on this side was still working okay, incidentally, when I got this strut out, it was visibly much newer than the old driver's side strut. So I'm supposing that at some point in this car's life, the passenger side rear was replaced, but not the driver's side. Can't explain why that happened before I owned the car. But anyhow, seeing as how I don't want to sink even one more dollar into this car. Not that I've spent a lot of money on it. I actually just put the old strut back in, so I've got one brand new one, one, really used one in here, but it's enough to daily drive the car for a while. I've got a short commute, and basically my plan is to daily drive the car for a little while longer, keep an eye out for a replacement car. Probably won't be a Subaru anymore. Not sure what I'm going to get yet. It's got to be something, I can service myself. So, quite possibly another Volvo. And most likely, once the Mercedes is on the road, and after I've found a decent replacement for the Subaru here, I'm probably going to sell this as a parts car with full disclosure, and if no private parties want it, I will probably just sell it to a junkyard. Because I'm not going to... First off, I don't BS anybody when I sell a car, but even then, this is a... this isn't like a wonky alternator. This is potentially quite a safety issue. Definitely something I consider to be a car killer. And so that's basically it. I'm still going to be driving this car for a while because, like I said, I still think there's some strength there, but I definitely think it's way past its prime. So anyhow, this is Mercedes Diesel Guy. Thanks for watching.